Well, hello, race fans. Welcome to another edition of the Road to Indy Insider Debrief Show. Essentially, a show that I do after the races, bringing over on a couple of guests, guys that potentially had some success at the racetrack, and chat with them a little bit here. Joining me today, of course, I'm back in Southern California, a couple of weeks away from heading to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the road course. But the event we're talking about, debrief, the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Spent a tremendous weekend. All the fans back at the racetrack. Love going to St. Petersburg. Track obviously unbelievably challenging. Weather pretty solid. We thought we were going to get some rain. We didn't. It was unbelievably humid, as Florida normally is, but we didn't get that run through of rain midday. That meant that we had some great racing. Temperature was high, tough on the drivers, and we'll talk to both of these competitors here about how tough it was. We heard, of course, a lot of the feedback from Colton Herta, guys like Connor Daly, about how tough it was in the Indy cars. Thinking about them running for 2.5 hours. Behind the aero screen. Our guys, of course, open cockpit in USF 2000 and Indy Pro. Will have the Halo type device next year with a new tub. But just great to be in Florida for sure. We started the season a week before that at Barber Motorsports Park, right into St. Petersburg, so the championship going. Guys joining me here today, two very impressive young drivers, one from Denmark, one, of course, from America. Christian Brooks for Exclusive Autosport, won both races in USF 2000, and Christian Rasmussen from J. Howard Driver Development, getting second in the opening round, winning in round number 2. Let's bring these guys on here. We got Brooksy, we got Rasmussen. Guys, how are you? Thanks for joining me.
Very good, Rob. Thanks for having us.
So, just Rasmussen. So here's the deal. Before we came on the show, I didn't think this through. I thought this would be really cool. I got a couple of guys that win races. Christian Brooks, of course, doubled up, as I said. Rasmussen, P2, P1. When you're running an interview with two different guys, I use your first names, so I didn't think this through. So it's going to be, I can't say, hey, Christian, what do you think? I apologize. So it'll be Brooksy and it'll be Rasmussen. What's your nickname, Christian Rasmussen? You got a nickname? Christian, can you not hear me? Brooks, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
But Rasmussen can't hear me. Check you're not muted, Christian. Make sure. Otherwise, log out, log back in. I gotta log.
Oh, he just typed, I can't hear any of you.
I just messaged him. Yeah, I got him. I said log out and log back in. I love this stuff. This is good. This is live here. So there, he's logged out. He'll come back in. We got a comment already. Chris Stifler is saying hello. Hey, Rob. Good. I don't spell it. That's how Stingray spells his last name. That's not how I spell my first name. All right, we'll wait for Rasmussen to come back in here and get things going. Christian, let's start with you. Obviously, Barber Motorsports Park, not exactly what you wanted in terms of qualifying. You qualified a little bit back, but you were able to get good points. And I know that was your mindset leaving. How much did that not the launch you wanted, not the debut you wanted, kind of motivate you for St. Petersburg?
Yeah, well, obviously after having that weekend in Barber, I mean, 2 P5s, it was hard to be upset after the struggles we had in qualifying. So yeah. I came out of there excited because I knew how strong we were at St. Pete last year. Just needed to make sure we got good points in St. Pete. I knew we'd be up front. I knew we'd be fast out of the gate, fast in practice and qualifying. So just making sure that the setup was good. I spoke with the engineers well, and we had everything dialed for the race and take home as many points as we can.
Interesting from last year to this year. Obviously, the team has expanded. 4 drivers in USF 2000. You guys added Matt Round-Garrido for Barber Motorsports Park, Billy Fraser and Grant Palmer. So 4 guys under the tent. A lot of data coming in for you guys. Andy Schlosser and the crew, the engineer, did a tremendous job. I've been talking to you, Matt, all the guys. Matt told me, Matt Round-Garrido said it's the best car he's ever driven. Out of the gate, was the setup that good? Do you feel like you were better than you were last year when you won in the finale?
Yeah, well, not only is my driving better, but the improvements that the team's been making. I mean, these guys have worked countless hours. Andy's a really good engineer, and he's been working with Kai, who's unfortunately in Germany now, and they've all worked together really well, and all the communication's been great. So the car has been spectacular. And I mean, I was 1,000th off of the track record in the first qualifying. And I think the track wasn't as good because 2nd, 3rd, 4th were a bit further off than last year. So the car was there. I would have beat the track record if I didn't make a slight mistake. But okay. I mean, when you're upset about not beating your track record and you're still on pole, it's a good day.
Good to have Christian back. I think he's on the phone this time, right?
Yeah,
phone works.
I couldn't get my phone, my computer to work, so it'll be the phone.
Well, the question I was asking at the start, because I made a mistake of having two Christians on, so I can't really lead you guys into it. Do you have a nickname, Christian Rasmussen? What do they call you?
So they call me Razza within the team, or Raz, or
Raz?
yeah.
I can live with that. We'll call Brooksy and Raz. That'll be good. It'll be more It'll be more informal with this edition. Christian Brooks, let's keep going with you. Getting the first win. Watching the video, some of the videos I saw on social media coming out of the car, a ton of emotion. And I think that when you come into a second season like this, you want to win the championship. Talk a little bit about how much relief it was when you got out of the car getting that first victory.
Yeah, well, it's just like anything, right? You want to get the cat out of the bag as quick as you can.
Yeah.
Bagging that first victory for me was super important for not only my confidence but the team's confidence. And to do it with a 1-2 with Round Garrido, who's a really good friend of mine, I mean, it was killer, right? It did suck finishing under caution though, because me and Matt had the pace to really pull away from the field in that race, and our tire strategy was on point. So I was a little upset to finish under caution, but still ended up taking the win, and then to be able to get the win in race 2 with starting second was like amazing for my confidence. I was super stoked, and the team was really happy.
We'll come back and talk about that in a couple seconds. Raz, let's come to you. Similar deal. I talked to Christian Brooks there before when you were gone about the fact that he had a good weekend at Barber, but not what you wanted when you expect you're going to come back to win races. Didn't qualify quite as well, but got a couple of top fives, which is great points. Mm-hmm. You were very quick at Barber Motorsports Park, as you said, and then of course you won on the racetrack in race number 2. You had a spin in turn 5. They got you for a defensive move and moved you back a spot with a time penalty. That's obviously tough on you mentally. But then you come back. Tell me how you maybe prepared yourself mentally, having had that disappointment. Then we turn around 3 days later. We're back on the track on the Friday rather. Because dude, you were good this weekend, second and first. Tell me about preparing yourself mentally after the issue at Barber.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, it was pretty cool to see how quick we were right out of the box, because like you said earlier, we're a completely new team in the series. Yeah. I'm a new driver in the series. It's all new for us. So being able to come out of the box that quick at Barber was definitely amazing, and also was a huge confidence boost. So me making that mistake in race 2 was definitely unfortunate, but I still think it was a positive weekend in that sense that we were so quick. So it was just focusing on that, going into St. Petersburg, focusing on the good things, obviously trying to learn from our mistakes, and then it was just full focus on St. Pete, and that was a great weekend as well.
Yeah, you guys obviously have 3 wins and a second place shared among the two of you guys. So you guys had amazing weekends. Raz, let's ask you about the changing of the track. One of the conversations I had with a lot of people, talked about it a lot in the PA obviously as well, is the track is almost a living being, right? Because it changes so much and fluctuates throughout the weekend. Once IndyCar gets on, you change things. And I think that we don't probably talk a lot about the fact that the engineers and the drivers have to talk about how they want to make changes. Some guys will make changes to the wrong ones, right? Yeah, they go the wrong direction. What did you guys do in terms of making those changes? So the car was good. You and Bryn talking about how to get things dialed in when the track was changing so much with the rubber going down.
Yeah, like you said, I mean the track changes every time you go on it. From the IndyCar rubber coming down, from other series running around, it just changes so much. Obviously, I can't say what we changed and what we don't change.
I wasn't that specific.
But
can you please put your data sheet up, please?
I'll tell you this, that Bryn has it pretty much figured out, and he's doing a great job with the car, and the car was spot on all weekend long. So for me, yes, the track changed, but the car was pretty much the same all weekend, and was really, really quick.
Let's talk about the confidence. You mentioned the fact that you guys came out of the gate super strong at Barber. Maybe a little bit of a surprise. We know that Pabst last year kind of took them to the end of the season in their debut in USF or Indy Pro 2000 for Hunter to get that first victory. You guys come out of the gate really good. How much confidence did you have coming into to St. Petersburg that you were going to be able to get some wins?
I mean, we obviously it's a new track again. So you just because you're quick one weekend, you don't know if you're going to be quick the next. But I mean, I have a lot of, in my own ability, I know that when everything's there, I can be up there. And so it's just a matter of getting everything right and go out and doing the job. So I think the confidence came once that we saw that we actually had the pace to do it also that weekend, and then it was just building on that and getting the results.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And to get that second in the first race, how about that pass for the race win in race 2? Tell me a bit about that, because that was an aggressive move.
Yeah, so obviously I was in second, and I knew that I felt like I had the pace to get in front. And I was chasing down McElrea on the first laps of the race right after the caution. And yeah, I got a good run out of 14 out of the last corner of the front straight down the runway. And to my I kind of would expect him to go to the inside of the fence, but he really didn't. So I had a run on him, and then I dug out last minute and went to the inside and got by him. From there on out, it was pretty much I pulled the gap pretty quickly, and then just continued to build on that and won the race. So.
Well, again, you guys are able to win, and only your 4th start in Indy Pro 2000. Tell me about this picture here, because I think you and Jay Howard had a pretty good celebration, but man, he was jacked up when you came into victory lane afterwards. Tell me about what this team means. You obviously won the USF 2000 championship with them last year. You come back to get a victory already, so the momentum is there. It looks to me like you guys got a really good dynamic.
Yeah, we have a great dynamic in the team. Obviously, this is my my 4th season with the team. I did Danish F4, did 2 years of USF 2000, and now Indy Pro. So I've just been with the guys for a long time. I know Jay very well after these years, and obviously, yeah, he gets very, very happy when we get into victory lane. Obviously, we all do, but yeah, it's great to have these moments together with us being very, very good friends now, and I mean, at the end of the day, we're trying to chase down another championship and creating great memories along the way.
Yeah, and there's that connection already with Jay Howard Driver Development and Carlin Racing and Indy Lights. So if you're able to win the championship again here, it could continue. Christian Brooks, let's come to you. Same kind of thing, right? We talked about the second race. How about your pass? You were running second. I have to think in your mind after the win on Saturday, you're like, you know what? Maybe I could probably hang out here. I could finish second if I had to. But then there's a late race caution, and you end up rolling in. Tell me about the pass on the restart.
Yeah, so by that time of the race, playing around in all the aero wash, the front tires were pretty gone. So I was really hoping for a caution. We closed, I think it was about 0.3 a lap in the previous laps, and then the caution came out. So in the previous race, I was able to get super good restarts out of that corner every time when I was the one in front. So I was expecting it would be really difficult to get a rundown into turn 1. Just tried to give it my best attempt, and Kiko had a bit of a wobble going into the corner, and I was able to tuck out of the air wash a little bit and get that run. So right when I got on power out of that corner, I knew that if I was going to win the race, it had to be right here, right now. So
that's it, right?
Yeah, and I knew that Michael Duncalf and all the boys really, really wanted this one, even though they were already happy from earlier in the day. So I decided to go for it, and he went down to defend a bit, got in the dirty stuff, and locked up his right front. So we were able to capitalize on it. And I mean, right as I came around that corner in 2 on the outside, and I didn't hit the wall or hit Kiko, I was like, okay, perfect, let's go. And it's super hard to pass with the aero wash when you're super close in pace. So I knew after that, I just cruised, made sure I gave myself a bit of a distance to the wall, and made sure to bring it home.
We'll come back and talk aero wash in a couple seconds. Here's your post victory celebration. Christian, you're out of the car quickly, a long embrace with Michael Duncalf. Then you brought the whole team in. You brought everybody in. This is, again, I think a look at what you guys are building at Exclusive Autosport, because it seems like a really, really tight-knit group this year.
Yeah, for sure. And after some of the struggles we had last year, and just getting better and better and better and better every single race, every single session, literally, it brings everybody really close. In racing, the struggles are what really shape a team and shape a driver. So a bit of struggles last year just made us that much better at the end of the season, and to start the season, I think it's already showing.
I love it. I'm gonna, if anybody's watching here right now, those of you who are watching, if you have any questions, drop them down, whether you're on YouTube, put it in the chat room. If you're on Facebook, drop it in there as well. If you have any questions for either of the Christians, we can bring those into the show. Let's go. I want to talk aero wash, and then we'll kind of transition that into the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course event that's coming. We'll kind of preview a bit. Obviously, Brooksy, you brought up aero wash. Christian, Rasmussen, I know you guys are battling with it as well. Raz, talk a little bit about aero wash with the Indy Pro 2000 cars. Was it that tough at St. Petersburg? I know Barber's, with the long radius corners, you're really getting behind someone, you're getting that understeer. But was aero wash a big problem at St. Pete as well?
Yeah, I think it was less of a problem compared to Barber. I think at Barber it was definitely the worst that I've experienced. But also in the Indy Pro cars, with just having that extra bit of downforce, it just makes it a bit more tough compared to USF 2000 to follow out of the corners. And I mean, you're leading out of turn 14 out in the front straight. Of course, you have the straight, but it's also a 180-degree corner and quite a long corner. So you will get aero wash. So it was definitely hard to pass. One of the reasons why I got by Hunter in race 1 was only because he made a little mistake. Because I don't think we had the same pace in race 1 as we did in race 2. So because he made that little mistake, I was able to get by him. But in general, just very, very hard to pass.
Brooks, let's go to you right now. Let's transition that aero wash into the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, our next event, of course, the road course race there. You had a couple of good finishes. That was kind of the turning point for you last year where you really started to dial things in. What do you think about heading back there? You've got some success right now. Obviously, you're going to go for more wins. Is that an aero wash track? Are there places really to worry about there? Or because turn 1 and I think it's turn 7, it seems like a lot of hard braking passes. I don't know that aero wash will play that much of a role in overtaking.
Yeah, well, in every track in the Road to Indy, you struggle a bit with aero wash, but when you go to a track like the Indy GP, you have such long straightaways. So even if you lose 2 or 3 cars on the exit of the corner, by the end of the straightaway, if you're within the draft, you're going to be able to make a move. So that's a place that I really enjoyed driving at last year. I know me and Rasmussen had a few battles there that were pretty fun. And it was nice. That's when I was finally able to start battling with the front guys and get our 2 podiums. So a place like that, just with the draft and being able to battle every lap, you have to make sure your car really rotates, gets really good exits, so they can't get you at the end of the straight.
Is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course like almost a perfect transition for you out of a great weekend at St. Petersburg? You get a couple of wins and you go back to a place that was kind of the transition for you. Like, is it just lined up perfectly for you to potentially get 2 more good results?
Yeah, it's 2 tracks that I'm super confident at for sure, and I'm very confident with the car last year. And I already know the improvements we've been making this year are going to play very well into the Indy GP. So super excited to just get back at it and see what we can do. I mean, points are always in mind this year, but of course you want to go for as many race wins as possible. And I think qualifying is super important. And that's something that I think I've been becoming better and better at. In Barber, I kind of got caught out by the red flags a little bit, but just going to be focusing on qualifying, especially in the Road to Indy. It's so difficult to pass sometimes. So get those good qualities and hopefully get on the box 2 more times.
Raz, last year, obviously, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, not quite kind to you. You had that huge run of race wins to start the season that had some issues there, mechanical issue on track. Again, not the same comment that I said to Brooks about having the momentum, but for you, it's almost like you had such a good weekend at Barber, or rather at St. Pete. You can go now to Indianapolis with confidence that you can put last year behind you, right? And I think be able to come out strong.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so far, Indy GP hasn't been very kind to me, neither in 2019 or 2020. But I think, we're improving every time, and I think last year was not really representing on our pace. We actually had an ECU failure in the last race, and where I actually think we could have challenged the front guys there. But yeah, I mean, taking what we learned for the past couple of years and taking the momentum from Barber and St. Petersburg, I think we should be able to have a great weekend. I can't see why not.
Well, guys, congratulations on great success at St. Petersburg, man. It was a lot of fun to watch. Very impressive runs for both of you, and it put you both obviously in a place that early in the season you're lining up to be able to challenge for a championship. Christian Brooks, let's start with you. Any sponsors you want to thank right now, and then come back with social media. Where do they follow you on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram?
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to thank Exclusive Autosport, Michael Duncalf, everybody that puts all this effort in at the shop day in and day out. They're the reason why we're having this success. For sure, I'm getting better as a driver, but the team is just every time it amazes me the work they've been putting in and how much better they've been doing. So shout out goes to the team. You can follow me at Christian Brooks Racing on Instagram. Just started a YouTube channel today, dropped my first video. So nice. YouTube, Christian Brooks. And yeah, so you check me out there. And yeah, thank you, Rob.
All right, man. Christian Rasmussen, what about you? What's sponsors and social media?
Yeah, and my longtime sponsor, Jan Poulsen, who's been with me every year since karting. Huge part of my success here. Obviously, also Dan Anderson and the Road to Indy scholarship that I won from USF 2000. Also a huge part of my success this year, and me actually being able to drive. So thanks to those guys. Thank you to J. Howard Driver Development for, like Brooks say, also, I mean, putting in the hard work, having an amazing car so far, both weekends, and yeah, looking forward to drive the car for the rest of the season.
What about social media? What are your accounts?
I am Christian R_DK on Twitter, Christian_Rasmussen_ on Instagram, and Christian Rasmussen Racing on Facebook.
Awesome, guys. Congratulations again. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll drop you into the back. We'll talk to you guys a little later. Guys, two up-and-coming drivers that could be future stars of the NTT IndyCar Series. Christian Rasmussen already with a championship last year in USF 2000. Now finds himself in a fight for Indy Pro, trying to follow in the footsteps of guys like Oliver Askew, who are able to stream all the way through. And, of course, Christian Brooks coming back for his second year of USF 2000, just like Rasmussen did in 2020. He's definitely going to be a title contender. Those two wins at St. Petersburg, very, very big for him. I know super pumped as well Christian was as the team had announced that they had signed again with Cambridge Global Payments, big sponsor for the team, and on the side of Christian's car as well. Always good to do it when the sponsor is at the racetrack. Appreciate you joining us, folks. Thank you so much. I'll get another one going next week, but we'll preview the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I might try to grab Steve Whittick for that one, but otherwise, great show with Christian Rasmussen and Christian Brooks. Thank you so much for tuning in, folks. My name is Rob Howden. Book it.